Hey there, and welcome to Story Time with Jasper. We've listened to a lot of stories, but some of those stories haven't been spooky. It's time to jump into Scared Silly and 5 Spooky Ghosts Playing Tricks at School. Zilla, are you ready for some spooks? He's scared. Let's get into it, Zilla. Scared Silly, a book for the brave. We're gonna hear some stories by Florence Perry Hyde. Let's get into our first story, shall we? What's that? What's that? Who's there? There's a great, huge, horrible creeping up the stair. A huge, big, terrible, with creepy, crawly hair. There's a ghastly, ghastly with 7 slimy eyes and flabby, grabby tentacles of a gigantic size. He's crept into my room now. He's leaning over me. I wonder if he's thinking how delicious I will be. First one. Can you even imagine what that would be like? What about this story? The monster in my closet. The monster in my closet hides there just for fun. He shrieks and moans and rattles bones just like a skeleton. He always tries to scare me. He does it as a joke. But tonight, I shouted, "Boo!" at him, and he went up in smoke. Huh. Well, that was different. I felt a little bit different reading that story. But you know what? We all had different kinds of fears. But you know what? Let's hear this next story. Absolutely nothing. Dinosaurs. They're very, very dead, you know. They died a zillion years ago. But whether they're dead or alive, there's one thing that hides beneath my bed. His teeth are huge. He has big scales. His toenails are as sharp as nails. I hear him breathe. I hear him snore. I hear him gnash his teeth and roar. My mother says, "Look here, my dear, there's absolutely nothing here." He's getting very hungry now. He'll have to get a meal somehow. My father says, "There's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there." But in the morning, they will see absolutely nothing left of me. Does that look like absolutely nothing to you? Oh, parents just sometimes don't get how scared we can be. And there's all different kinds of monsters you see. Here's a story of a monster called the Wendigo. The Wendigo. Its eyes are ice and indigo. Its blood is rank and yellowish. Its voice is hoarse and bellowish. Its tentacles are slithery and scummy, slimy, leathery. Its lips are hungry, blubbery, and smacky, sucky, rubbery. The Wendigo. I saw it just a friend ago. Last night it lurked in Canada. Tonight, it's on your veranda. Are you lolling hammock-wise? It contemplates you stomach-wise. You loll, it contemplates. It lollops. The rest is merely gulps and gollops. When you're hanging out on your porch, do you know what's out there? Is it the Wendigo? Or maybe there's other monsters like the Alphabet Monster by Robert Hedberg I am the alphabet monster, and nothing tastes better to the alphabet monster than eating a letter. A J and an A, and a C and a K, and a million more letters I munch every day. I'm hungry now. What shall I do? I think I'll eat a Y, an O, and a U. That means you. Oh man, I would not want to have me spelled out for the alphabet monster. Now, sometimes monsters are something to be scared of, but what about the things that you can't see? Here's a story called I'm Coming Up the Stairs by Maria Leach. Once, there was a girl named Tilly who was afraid to go to bed. Nothing bad had ever happened to her, but somebody had told her some scary stories. And after that, she was afraid. One night, she really did hear something. She lay in bed, listening, and she heard a very quiet voice say, "Tilly, I'm coming up the stairs." The next night, Tilly asked her mother if she should keep the light on for a while. But her mother said, "Nonsense, darling. Nothing happened that night." So Tilly did not ask again. But the next night, while Tilly was lying in bed, afraid to go to sleep, she heard a little voice say slowly, "Tilly, I'm on the first step." Tilly was too scared to get up and look. The next night, she heard the little whispering voice say, "Tilly, I'm on the second step." Tilly got more and more scared each night, but everybody told her, "Oh, that's nothing." There were 8 steps in the staircase, and every night Tilly heard the voice, "Tilly, I'm on the 3rd step. Tilly, I'm on the 4th step. Tilly, I'm on the 5th step." Until one night, she heard the voice say, "Tilly, I'm in the hall." Tilly was so frightened she couldn't eat her breakfast the next morning, and she couldn't eat her supper that night. The next night, Tilly was lying awake in bed, and it was not very long before she heard that horrid little whispering voice say, "Tilly, I'm at the door." The next night, it said, "Tilly, I'm in the room." Tilly was too scared to even scream for her mother. The next night, the voice said, "Tilly, I'm standing by the bed." And the next night, "I've got you!" Ooh. Oh my goodness. You know, stories can get pretty scary sounding sometimes. That feeling that you get in your chest or the shiver that goes up your spine. I think we need to adjust our story a little bit here. Let's go ahead and hear about the 5 spooky ghosts playing tricks at school. Whew. 5 spooky ghosts playing tricks at school. Well, those ghosts don't look too scary, right? There they are, they're just playing some tricks and throwing things around and just having a good time. One got wild and broke a stool. Oops. Well, I mean, it's not good to break things at school. The teacher called the mommy, and the mommy said, "No more ghosts playing tricks at school." Oops. Busted. So now there were 4 spooky ghosts drawing on the wall. Huh. They're still playing tricks. One stretched up, and now he's too tall. The teacher called the daddy, and the daddy said, "No more ghosts drawing on the wall." Huh. Well, what does that leave us with? That leaves us with 3 spooky ghosts flying in the gym. One tried to dunk and hit the rim. Oh no! He hit himself on the head. I don't know how that works. The teacher called the grandma, and the grandma said, "No more ghosts flying in the gym." Well, that's another ghost down. 2 spooky ghosts using too much glue. One got stuck and said, "Boo-hoo." The teacher called the grandpa, and the grandpa said, "No more ghosts using too much glue." Huh. These ghosts seem to have some problems. One spooky ghost bouncing in the yard all by himself. Do you remember how many there were to start with? He jumped up high and fell down hard. The teacher called the doctor, and the doctor said, "No more ghosts bouncing in the yard." You see, he fell down and hurt himself. But how many ghosts are there now? Now there are no little ghosts having fun at school. No little ghosts breaking all the rules. They're not at school anymore. The teacher called the parents, and the parents said, what did they say? "Let those ghosts go back to school." And that is the end. And that was 5 spooky ghosts playing tricks at school. Man, I know that this story got my heart racing for a moment. Not every story is just a simple one. All stories are special and unique, but have you ever come across a scary moment in your life? How have you handled it? How do you be brave in those moments? Some people can take a deep breath and breathe out. And they'll do that a couple times and let themselves only be scared for maybe 5 seconds. So they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they can only be scared for 5 seconds. Maybe that's something that you can try the next time that you are feeling scared. Because remember, scary moments aren't necessarily bad moments. In fact, they help make your story unique and special. Not everybody's gonna have your story. And if you can make it through the scary stuff, that is just gonna make you that much stronger and help make your story a good one. All right? Thank you for joining me for some spooky stories, and I hope to see you again next time. Take care, everybody.